Welcome, Scorpio. This is your weekly focus for the week of May the 20th. I'm Telly. This is Tarot with Telly. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, your love. Let's turn to the cards and find out what they have to say for you this week. We have the Death card as our first card. It's time to throw that cloak off, perhaps. My goodness. We have a week then where we are going forward. This card represents you throwing that cloak off, you putting that weapon down, you allowing your inner child out again. Celebrating life, feeling the freedom, feeling the liberation. This is a time of new expansion in your world. Absolutely. And it might mean the death of something. The death of maybe your perception of things. Maybe you haven't felt safe in a while, or maybe you had a health issue, and or you had a health issue in the past and you're worried that it might resurface. To stop letting those negative thoughts creep into your mind, and to throw off that cloak, drop that weapon, and experience the joy of the now. The experience of how you are feeling, how you are transforming, how you are stepping into your true self in many ways. Okay, it could be the death of who you used to be compared to the rebirth of who you will become. It could be that you lost your job only to find that perfect job. You didn't understand what you liked about that past job now that you've got this new job. Or it could be a relationship like that. Now you're sitting there and wondering what you ever saw in that relationship, because this one is so much better and so much more wonderful. But we can only have that through the death of one thing and allowing the birth of the second to appear, making the space for it, making the room for it. We have the Seven of Cups as our first card. Don't be too quick to jump the gun on any kind of opportunity, adventure, learning opportunity, investment opportunity that you come across. You want to research, you want to investigate, you want to understand what you're saying yes to and what you're saying no to. We don't just want to grab a shiny cup and run. Right now we only have a limited view of what is being offered to us, and it's the bottom of the goblet, not what's the contents yet. So we need to gain a new perspective, a new understanding, a new awareness of what each cup holds before we can actually make a decision in how we are going forward. We have the Three of Swords. This is about healing. This is about healing. This is where I feel that you felt responsible for something. You haven't let it go. Maybe your words caused a breakup between some good friends of yours, or your actions did, or you said something out of turn that you wish you could take back, or you did something, or maybe you gave birth to a beautiful child but not as healthy as you would want, and you hold that guilt. Being a mom with 3 children and 2 of them with autism, you have that guilt of, what did I do wrong in the pregnancy? We put the blame back on ourselves for things that were out of our control in the first place, and somehow we try and gain that control of, we had the control over a healthy child with everything going right, to a child maybe born with a handicap or a disability, or we got somebody fired because we said the wrong thing, but there's this guilt that we need to release. Okay, it was not your fault. Okay, what you said had to be said in order for everybody's path to go the way they needed to go. Now, we all have free will, so we don't always embrace that path that is in front of us, and they may not have taken that route. And they might have gotten, you see them now and they're very unhappy, and you feel like you are the reason why, but you're not the reason why. The reason why is because they had choices and they chose a different road. And that was their choice because they have the free will. It had nothing to do with you. This is really about releasing that guilt. Because when we hold on to that guilt, talk about things that can plague our bodies with, stresses and anxieties. And none of those things are healthy for us. They all cause either our cells not to be producing in the way they should be. I mean, when you are always in a state of anxiety or fear, what happens is you stop eating because we go to those primal instincts, okay? And really, I get those primal instincts coming in, but they're pushing you in the wrong direction, and you're not pulling it back, and you're not thinking it through rationally. You're attacking it with the emotion of the adrenaline of the moment, keeping that memory alive within you. So what would happen is if the saber-toothed tiger was coming towards us, we knew that food wasn't a problem, so our brain automatically shut down all those things, right? If anything, we cleared ourselves really fast of any kind of obstruction so that we wouldn't have to stop to go to the bathroom as we're running away from the saber-toothed tiger. Or we don't need to eat. We don't need to, we're not breathing properly. There's just, we can't sleep because we have to stay alert in case that saber-toothed tiger comes back. And so we have all these things. So we wonder where the insomnia comes from, and then the ulcers come from. And, a lot of it stems from the guilt we carry. And this is a perfect time to release those guilts that you have in your life. So take the time. I mean, we're following the death card here with the Three of Swords. Of course, we have a card in between talking about our path and whatnot, but this card is really telling me that there is some kind of guilt or some kind of trauma, and you hold yourself personally responsible for that situation and release it. Work towards releasing it. It was not in your control. Trust me when I say you had no control over the situation. You did what you thought you had to do in the moment, and that was the wisest possible choice you could have made at that time. It's about shutting off that primal urge and really paying attention to what the situation is at hand. We have the King of Swords. Well, I get this thing. We want to maybe embrace transformation, but in order to do that, we have to cut away what is holding us back, what is not allowing us to go forward, or we have to cut through some kind of limitation or some fear or some kind of anxiety that we're allowing to grow within us. I really get the sense that we need to go inside throughout this week to really understand ourselves better and why we are reacting the way we react, or why we are behaving the way we behave, or why we hold on to that sense of responsibility when it wasn't part of our obligations and responsibilities in the first place. It's about really investigating and researching and understanding yourself and how you can bring in a healthy balance to mind, body, and soul this week. We have the Page of Cups. So once again, we're back to those cups. This is about dreaming it big. This might be wanting to bring in the love of your life. This might be bringing in the best job you ever had, success, great stature in the community, spiritual depth. Really, you can really embrace the transformation of a spiritual exploration under this kind of energy, because there's magic here. There's magic in here. And if you watch the weekend focus, you know that there is a lot of magic following us into this week. So this magic, you need to grab onto it and really dream outside the box. Dream of, the Cinderella kind of moment where, you may be sitting there with the scrub brush on your knees, scrubbing that wooden floor, but there is a prince running around out there with your shoe that you lost at the ball, and things are going to change dramatically and allow the transformation, allow the blossoming to happen. Okay, but part of it was because Cinderella believed that one day she would meet her prince in shining armor. She never gave up that hope within her heart. She may not have lived it all the time on the outside, but she sure did believe it in her dreams and her desires and her wants. So what are you dreaming of? What is the possibilities that you are hoping to explode upon your path in front of you and come to life like instantaneously? Because I think that is a probability here for you. We have the Page of Pentacles. Once again, the Dreamer. Page of Cups on the top, Page of Pentacles on the bottom. So this is about wanting that stability, that's wanting that strength, that confidence. Also, we may be wanting to grow that abundance, that prosperity, that love in our life. And we will not get a lot of guidance on it. So we really have to go with the flow. We really have to follow our intuition, our gut feelings, and maybe do, a little bit of inner work on, maybe a night of the dark soul, so to speak, and purge ourselves of some of that tension and stress and fear that we've been holding on to for maybe quite some time for somebody out there. We have the Hierophant. You come in more in tune with who you are spiritually, your strength and your spirituality. Maybe you have psychic abilities. Maybe your dreams are being very prophetic right now. So if that's happening, keep a journal, absolutely, because those dreams will all piece together different parts of it to really reveal maybe an opportunity or an adventure or something to step into, something to become aware of, to grow your path for your greater good. And we have the Six of Swords. So I see you preparing to go into uncharted territories by week's end. You are making some new commitments to yourself. You are dreaming of the possibilities of your tomorrow. You are looking at where you can be successful in your life, and at least taking a risk on yourself to step into that arena. Even though you don't know the layout, even though you don't know the rules yet, it's okay. It's uncharted territory. You will learn as you go, but you have been preparing for this for quite some time. Okay, those swords in the front of your boat are your shield of strength. They are the paths that you have walked in order for you to be prepared, in order to go forward with the strength within your, utilizing your magic. Sit in quiet contemplation. I'm telling you to go within to these dark places, but also look at the magic you hold within you, your talents, your abilities, just the unique you, okay? For work and career, we have the Nine of Pentacles. You've matured in this path. You are at a pinnacle here. You are at a change. You are on a time when you can go into an elevated path if you so wish. So going after that promotion, going after that raise, going after that success, that prosperity, that stature that you want in your life. You have been preparing for this. All these cards are saying that you have walked a path of preparation in order to go forward, in order to embrace your tomorrows with a strength, with a purpose, with an understanding. So this is a highly spiritual card. The veil is very thin. Talk to God, your angels, the universe, your guides, to ask questions right now, to bring in that clarity, that understanding, that knowledge, that wisdom of how to proceed going forward. You will get your answers. We have, for love and relationships, the Queen of Wands. I'd have to tell you to be a little bit more spontaneous within, and the world can be your oyster here, okay? This is money, money, money. Okay, where it's time for the raise, it's time for the promotion, it's time to bring in the prosperity in your life. Now is a time when you can make a strong move in your career in that way. Okay, Queen of Wands, back to love and relationships. Sometimes they pop things in after. I got to get them in, though. Queen of Wands, she is, she's enthusiastic. She doesn't need that plan all sketched out completely as prescribed. Like, she doesn't need that step-by-step strategy. She just needs some bullet points. She just needs to launch right now. And as we launch, some things will go our way and some things won't go our way, and we'll quickly discard those things that aren't going our way and pay more attention to the things that are going our way until we can kind of get our footing here. Because this excitement too brings in the help of others, okay? Other people may want to be involved in whatever you're doing to help you go forward, to assist you in some way, to being part of the process perhaps in some way. So I would have to say, both in love and both in work and career, expect change. Prepare for change. Change is happening. Dreams are coming alive. Dream outside of the box. Dream to a great, take it to your best life ever in your dreams. Absolutely. The Queen of Wands is here. This is about not over-analyzing a relationship, maybe digging towards some kind of truth if you need some kind of truth, wisdom to be revealed within the relationship, some hidden secret that you kind of suspect. This is the time to dig and research for those kinds of things. But the card is telling us that we need to be a little bit more enthusiastic into creating the rainbows in our life, and in creating the happiness and creating the joy, to take ownership of our responsibility in making that happen in our world when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships. And we have the Eight of Cups. So we look towards tomorrow, we look towards our future, and we want to, there's anticipation here, there is enthusiasm here, there's even a potential for motivation here. But we know that we need to sever some ties perhaps, or to leave some things in the past for the time being, to let go of some things, some habits, some behaviors. Maybe you've always gone to the coffee shop for your coffee, and now you're going to use a thermos and make your pot of coffee at home, because you'll probably save $100 by the end of the month doing that. And that $100 you already can know that you're going to utilize in order to further your path forward in a different area of your life. So it's not necessarily that we have to completely leave things behind forever. They can come back into our life. But, sometimes, we want that instant gratification, that instant reward. And that doesn't always happen. In fact, most times it doesn't happen. So we have to be patient, and we have to make some kind of plan, some kind of strategy to actually step forward and take back our power in some way. Take back our power. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.